It was tough. Still try to get on with the challenge, but I don't understand what it says. I hope that I pass the exam. Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm sitting here with you to give you a little bit of context before I let you move on with the next video that I'm making for you guys. This is a video of me trying to film myself to execute the studying routine of the famous author. So to give you a little bit of background of this, I am few weeks away. At this point of time is only less than a month to the PMP exam that I'm about to take. What is PMP? If you don't know already, PMP is Professional Project Management certificate that usually professional project managers or inspiring project managers would usually take to advance their career path. Now that I've completed the 35-hour PDU as the first requirement before you can actually sit for the exam, and I am now in the midst of the next milestone of the learning journey, this studying journey to prepare myself for the exam, is to analyze the PMP exam questions. So this exam question book consists of 1,000 practice questions that cover all of the exam objective, and I have not been able to even complete half of the first chapter. Can you imagine? There's 3 chapters that I need to review after that long hours of training, but I have not even completed even half of the first chapter. I don't want to go in doing this last minute because there's a price to pay for the exam, and I want to make sure that I actually passed it with one attempt. A lot of people fail this exam. I heard there's some of them have to take about 5, sometimes 10 times to pass the exam, and I'm really scared. I think I just get overwhelmed with all this information, and I couldn't bring myself to my desk and start studying. Even when I tried to study, I just went blank and started to check on any other things that's on my phone. So I decided that why not I do this challenge. Instead of I do writing routine, I do studying routine. Who is this guy, this living author that I'm inspired to do his challenge? It's Neil Gaiman. Ta-da! So Neil Gaiman is a famous living author born in 1960s. He is English author of short fiction, novels, comic books, graphic novels, non-fiction, audio theater, and films. His work includes comic book series like The Sandman. If you probably have seen it on Netflix, it's super nice.
By dreams and nightmares that I create and which I must control.
American Gods, I have it on my TBR, and The Graveyard Book, and I have this book that I purchased in January, have yet to arrive. I also have read his other work, The Ocean at the End of the Lane. It's a fiction book that book was voted as the Book of the Year in British National Book Awards. So that's Neil Gaiman's work. And some other works that I don't think I have covered, not even half of it. I discovered his work last year, August, when I first read The Ocean at the End of the Lane, and I like his writing style, and I dedicated, which I mentioned in my previous video in January, that I dedicated this year. When it comes to my reading goal, I want to focus to finish reading all of Neil Gaiman's writings. I have exams to sit in few weeks time, so his writing routine looks pretty good for me. So what is Neil Gaiman's writing routine? So according to the video, the interview video that Christy Anne Jones shared, Neil Gaiman mentioned in his interview with Tim Ferriss, he would go to a little nice gazebo in his garden with a fountain pen and a journal. And his rule is very simple. That's the only thing you bring to the gazebo, and sit there, do nothing, or start writing. That's basically it. you write within after lunch between 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. and that's it. That's what you do. We come back and do it again. I think it's a very interesting concept. It's doable. I need to focus on studying and get my butt moving for this. I decided to replace writing into studying. I'm gonna apply this writing routine as my study routine for the next 1 week. I don't have fountain pen, and that's fine. I don't think that's even a challenge for me, because I just want to get into the concept of do nothing or just study, because I just really need to absorb everything from this book into my head and be prepared for the exam. So I just need this book. I just need a notebook. Where's my notebook? So this is where I wrote all my notes from the classes that I've attended. And then this is my flashcard, terms that I need to memorize, and then I printed out the notes from the class, so that would be easy for me to have it when I needed to do the revisions, so I don't have to go to my screen. Probably gonna end up watching something else and do something else. Enough of me rambling, and this is me trying Neil Gaiman's study routine for the next 1 week. Okay, let me tell you the first day of the Neil Gaiman writing concept attempt. How did it go? Oof. I'm very nervous to say this because it's only first day, but I could say that it was tough. I actually wrote down and journaled it out whenever I take a break from studying. I am intrigued that he used a concept of no other things that you're allowed to do other than just write. So I replaced writing with studying in order for me to focus on my studying, my revision, because my exam is just 4 weeks away. My reflections after the first 1 hour and a half, I completed about 40 questions. I focused on analysis as I wanted to, no screen whatsoever. So it was so tempting to hold the phone, and then I remember, oh, I'm in the challenge, and then I should put it down and I should look up and look at people walking around and giving a space to your mind. It was very relaxing and is very therapeutic experience somehow on the first 1 hour and a half. The lesson learned on the first half was that no screen time is always good. Silencing your mind and refocusing your thoughts to what you plan to do, and it worked. So I went on back to the next hour, and I came back, completed 73 questions in total during those hours, and I've completed the first chapter. In the last hour, my focus was a bit lost, and that because I started to feel tired. I really enjoyed the challenge today. I'm kind of excited. where do we begin? So today is Thursday. It's supposed to be the 4th day of the challenge, and as you can see, I am not at my home. I'm actually at the PMP nearby, where you can actually see my house in that tiny little dot somewhere there, like somewhere there. Considered second day because we checked in yesterday evening and got things sorted, but I just have to be away from work because there's things we have to do in between. Yeah, what happened was yesterday we had an emergency at home. The water supply stopped. There's a collision in the system, says that I didn't pay the bills, and I have to call the provider and explain and provide all the proofs. And we clearly we can't get the water supply immediately after all that settled. So here we are. We have to stay for 2 days in a DFB, and it was a very exhausting day, and there's other stuff that's happening at home as well that we have to attend to. So I'm trying to find space to breathe, and also taking a break, and still try to get on with the challenge. I'm not gonna pull the whole 1 to 6 p.m. challenge, but at least I get to study for 1 or 2 hours. I already being away from work, and that's hard enough because there's a lot of things that's happening at work, but I needed the break and I'm not in the right mental state, and I have to take EL for these 2 days. So yeah, I came back from the long 1.5-hour walk this morning because there's a park nearby, and I got lost in that tiny park. I don't know how to get out of it and get back to this apartment, so that's why it took me 1 hour and 30 minutes. I think 1 hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours, and the total of my steps is 7,100 plus, I think. And I really got showered, I had my lunch. I think he's taking a nap, he's not feeling well. Obviously, yesterday was a very stressful day for both of us, so I am getting ready to start study and get on with my day 4 Neil Gaiman challenge. So let's get to it. This is a gift that I bought it for myself because I think I deserve it after a super long, crazy week. We're gonna get to that. Oh, I deserve this, do I? My husband is not at home. Usually we're gonna do this together. But, oh, I am going to show him what I got for myself. I'm gonna put this away. Yeah, so today is the last day of Neil Gaiman's study challenge. Alright, now that we have that little celebration for ourselves of the whole week, let me just sit down and take it all in. This week has been unusual week for both of us because we didn't see it coming. That's why it's called emergency. But that's fine. That's fine. Today, I am still gonna go on with the challenge, but I thought I'm gonna put this video to an end by giving you an insight about how I feel. The original challenge is a writing challenge, but I like the concept that he mentioned about do nothing or write, and also giving yourself a permission not to write. I am still happy with the result, even though my first intent was to complete studying this whole book. This is where I am right now. This is where I intend to go. There's 5 sections of exam questions that I intend to complete before I move on to the next set of exam questions. Obviously, I didn't manage to, and even though I'm gonna sit down today and continue this challenge, probably just gonna be able to complete maybe another half of it. I'm really happy how it turned out, because what's unique about this challenge is that do nothing or just study. No trying to clean the kitchen counter, no trying to do some random laundry or anything else. Without the challenge, what I notice about myself nowadays is that I'm falling off into the urge of getting into your social media, checking on the YouTube. I'm not saying that you should just cancel every distraction, but I think it is necessary to give your time to focus on what you actually need to do. And in this case, is my exam. I would say the first half of the challenge was hard for me to really deep dive into the study. There was one question that I keep repeating, but I don't understand what it says, and then I walk away for a few minutes, look around and try not to play with my phone, and then go back to the same questions. It was a simple question. It was a simple question. So the lesson that I learned from there is that I can already see the effect of a scrolling mindlessly on the phone. What didn't go well with the challenge? I think I probably don't have a specific things that didn't go well with the challenge itself. It just happens to be a week that an emergency happened and it disrupted the flow of the challenge. I tried to focus on the outcome that I wanted, and it turns out that the concept really worked. What won't work? Probably because I'm working for 9 to 5, and it's really hard to do a 1 to 6 p.m. challenge just to do things that I want to do. The initial plan was to actually continue with the challenge after work, which is at night, between 9 to 12 or 8 to 11 or 8 to 12, but that obviously didn't happen. What would I want to continue? What did I learn and all that stuff? I think I feel that it is important for me to be away from my screen. That's the biggest lesson, because when I sit down at my desk here in the morning, even let's say this is not a study thing that I wanted to do. Let's just say is an important email that I needed to write. I sat there. I was supposed to focus on drafting the email, but I did not, because I have this urge to check Slack, to check email, to check the upcoming meeting, whatever that could happen, fun stuff that could happen in that big screen. This challenge have taught me that focus on one thing or you don't do anything else, which is good, because there's nothing else to do. You just have to put your words into that blank canvas and start writing. So I think I would want to continue doing that. That's meant I would have to learn to stop multitasking. Yeah, that's it. So I am gonna go back to my writing and not writing, study. I just wish that it's writing. It's actually study. I need to study for my PMP. Wish me luck. I hope that I pass the exam, and I'm glad that this concept came through to my feed on YouTube, and I'm glad that I did it. So I hope you like it, and if you feel that this kind of video is something that resonates to you and you find it very useful, give it a thumbs up, share it out to people that you think might need this inspiration, and yeah, see you in next video. Bye bye.